After achieving their first #1 hit and launching their debut UK tour, the Beatles quickly moved on to recording an album. Their first single, Love Me Do, had achieved only moderate success, peaking at number 17 on the UK charts. However, their follow-up, Please Please Me, propelled them to the top, securing #1 spots on both NME and Melody Maker charts. Producer George Martin had high expectations for Please Please Me even during the recording process, predicting it would be a major success. His instincts were correct, and the demand for an album became immediate. However, with their relentless touring schedule, the Beatles had to fit in recording whenever they could find the time. On February 11, 1963, the band gathered at London's EMI Studios to begin the intense recording session. Understanding that time was limited, Martin asked them what they could record quickly, and they suggested their stage routine. He later described the session as a straightforward performance of their live set, almost like a broadcast. Touring and the harsh winter weather had taken a toll on John Lennon, who arrived at the studio with a severe cold. Despite this, the band started recording at 10 a.m., beginning with There's a Place and I Saw Her Standing There, with Lennon using throat lozenges to ease his discomfort. The afternoon session saw the band continue with A Taste of Honey, featuring Paul McCartney on lead vocals, followed by Do You Want to Know a Secret and Misery, with John and Paul on guitars, while George Harrison provided backup vocals. Initially planned as an afternoon session, the recording continued late into the evening. The group worked through covers such as Boys, Chains, Anna Go to Him, and Baby It's You. They also attempted Hold Me Tight, but ultimately discarded it, unsatisfied with the results. Just before the studio closed at 10 p.m., they recorded Twist and Shout as their final song of the day. Lennon's voice was already strained from illness, and the demanding vocal performance nearly wrecked his throat. He later admitted that singing it left him hoarse for days, describing the experience as agonizing. Martin had anticipated the challenge, insisting they save Twist and Shout for last, knowing it would strain Lennon's voice beyond recovery if done earlier in the day. As the recording wrapped up, he expressed admiration for the band, marveling at their endurance and improvement despite the exhausting session. However, Lennon remained dissatisfied with his performance, believing he could have sung better. Although initially embarrassed by how his voice sounded, he eventually made peace with it, acknowledging that he had given his best effort under the circumstances. The recording session, which cost the equivalent of around £10,500 today, over £400 at the time, was one of the most efficient in music history. Music historian Mark Lewisone later emphasized the significance of the session, stating that few recording days had ever been as productive. Reflecting on the experience, Ringo Starr noted that there had been no rehearsals for their first album. He recalled the process as feeling live, with the band running through the songs quickly just to hear them before recording. The spontaneity and raw energy of that day would ultimately define the sound of their debut album.